Yeah, that's right. The comfort women one. Yeah.
So, I would first like to say thank you, and what a pleasure to have women of my lineage to take home at University at Albany. I appreciate you, I adore you, and I thank you. My question comes from students from Spelman College and the Black Feminists. We're doing meditation, but we also talk about, well, what are you going to ask on our behalf? And as we talk about the prison industrial complex as the new slavery in general, and primarily in relation to brown and black folks, my question for them, as we often talk about this politic of respectability, so they wanted to know, what would Harriet do? Because for some reason it's not clicking. So they want to know, what would Harriet do? In terms of, maybe you have to explain the politics of respectability, maybe not. Dr. Jackson.
I'm not sure I'm following what you want me to respond to.
What would Harriet do in relationship to the present day around the politic of respectability in terms of their rejection of the politic of respectability?
Oh, okay. We've been having a big struggle on Spelman's campus around pornographic hip hop and misogynist lyrics that are played weekly on the Spelman campus, and also videos that are circulating. So that's what she's referring to, and we've talked about the historic culture of dissemblance and politics of respectability that black women of a certain generation may have attached themselves to. And what we are hearing among younger women is that they are not having any connection to any politics of respectability. And well, maybe unless it's church. And that they don't have any issues around hypersexualization. And I would just add, getting back to a question that was raised a couple of years ago, I asked my students, what would they be prepared to die for? And number two, I asked them, what was the thing in life that they got the most pleasure out of? And the answers to those two questions almost sent me to my bed. The answer to the second question overwhelmingly was sleep. What is the thing that you most enjoy doing in life? Sleeping. And what are you prepared to die for? Having talked about some of these women, that was just a question that there was just no answer. Just no answer.
So what would Harriet say to them? Or do to them? I don't want to know what she would do. Don't tell me what she would do.
I think Harriet would be in the same position that people like me are in those classes. I think that Harriet would be, I leave my class, as you know, my almost 3-hour class on Wednesday night and go back to my office, and I have to really do some serious reflection about what kind of pedagogical strategies and what kind of interventions can we make, and this is a feminist classroom. This is not just a regular, this is a radical feminist classroom. This is not teaching, Composition 101, which I used to teach. And it's becoming increasingly hard, and I'm not the only one who's saying this. It's becoming increasingly hard to teach feminist politics in our classrooms. The resistance is huge. So I would say that Harriet would be like many of us, really feeling the generational gap. The generational gap. I mean, we showed some of those horrendous videos in class, and our students said they didn't see anything that was problematic about it. So all I know is we have a lot of work to do. I don't know that I have all of the answers, but I believe that the Ida Wells of the world, the Anna Coopers, the Harriets, whether they are present or past, would just be struggling, really struggling to try to figure out how we can connect this generation with not just a past but a present, a present reality and a future.
That's one thing that's missing.
Yeah.
Is that all of you are clear visions of what the future is supposed to be. And that doesn't seem to be, very.
Let me just say to the new generation, one of my critiques of Michelle Alexander's highly touted book, it has no gender analysis. And black women are not, we are not in that book. It perpetuates the notion that the prison industrial complex is primarily impacting men. It doesn't have an intersectional analysis.
Also, a lot of us know that information and have known it for years.
Say that again.
A lot of us know that information and have known it for years. What I would like to see is an analysis of the people who do prison work. What keeps them going?
So even the intersectional analysis that the people have been doing for 40 years, I don't know how you can write a book like The New Jim Crow and not have an intersectional analysis, not to mention the treatment of trans people in prison, GLT. I don't know how you can do that in the year 2012.
Yeah, I don't know, the sister back there who just spoke, I don't know if she's been introduced here today, but that's Cheryl Clark. And Cheryl and I go back again to the Pleistocene era, also known as the 1970s. We met in the summer of 1975 at a socialist feminist, a national socialist feminist conference at Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio. I know Antioch is no longer operating, but that's where Cheryl and I met. Her book, Narratives, stories, poems? Yes, in the tradition. It had a great subtitle. I'm so sorry to remember. I didn't remember the title. But Narratives, although it was not the first book that Kitchen Table Women of Color Press published, it was the first book that we distributed prior to having published any books. And so we did that, and then the book became a Kitchen Table Press title. So, as I said, we go back, many years. It's a pleasure to have Cheryl here today. And when we were talking about Beverly being president of the National Women's Studies Association, Vivian Ng also was president of the National Women's Studies Association. So nobody does anything without, their sisters.
So I know we want to continue, but we actually have to be out of here by 5, and it's already 5:15. So thank you all. Thank you so much for this. And thank you all. We're continuing this evening at 7 at Recital Hall. Tomorrow we will continue with interactive workshops. We're switching over and a bus tour. Thank you again, everyone.